Hey guys, I just wanted to make a short video to address some comments that I had on my shoulder pain video. A lot of people were commenting on my hip belt. Someone said it was cleaving me in two. Another person said it was not a hip belt, it's a waist belt. One thing I did not mention is this hip belt is not actually a good size for me. My iliac crest is right there's the top of it, and the edge of my hip belt cushion is like right here. So this should come and envelop that top hip bone, which is right there. But my belt is pretty much centered at the top of the crest, which is what you want. I do start a little bit above and cinch it down. Otherwise, with a 65-pound pack, it would just continue to slide down. The other thing I didn't mention was sternum strap. This is really good for me. Sometimes my shoulder straps will sort of like pull outwards on my shoulders. I can tighten this and it can alleviate some of that pressure. And also, depending on the weight you're carrying and the distance you're going, basically any adjustment you can do to give certain parts of your body a break and start to shift the weight around, the better, in my opinion. There was one other little thing I wanted to mention. Somebody said, because I wasn't following my own advice in the video, if any of my advice is wrong, or if I'm not doing any of those one things right, then the whole thing goes out the window. I sort of understand what they're saying, but I do find it's interesting that, by loosely applying my own advice that I gave in that last video, I can ruck fairly comfortably with the 60-70 pound pack. But yeah, in that video, it's more of a do as I say, not as I do situation. I do have a better hip belt, which I am going to swap over, and I'm always on the lookout for different hip belts. I really want to try the Tactical Tailor Ergo Super Belt. That one comes up to 35 inches. And I'd love to design my own hip belt. I can't remember if I addressed the issue of load lifters. That's another great option. Especially longer trips, heavier weight, the more options the better. I do have load lifters, but they're really not doing a whole lot, and that's just because these are Pack Rabbit shoulder straps, and they're really designed for the Pack Rabbit frame. So yeah, they're not super effective with this current setup, but they can definitely help to transfer the load onto your hips if used appropriately. And I've heard a lot of guys say that, on long trips, if their shoulders start getting tired, one thing they'll do is tighten their load lifters and loosen their shoulder straps. But you really need the anchor point, ideally like 45 degrees above the where it connects. You can see where it connects. Actually, it's way back there. Yeah, so this is not these straps are not a great example to demonstrate load lifters, but it is another factor that sort of plays into the matrix of managing comfort